Fed up. That's when things change. So I knew something had to change. I went back, I'm playing, and I got another one of these requests, another chance to look really bad. And what I've learned ever since then, and I apply this to this day, every chance to look bad is actually a chance to look really, really good. We just have to be the engine that makes that change. By finding something in us we didn't, it was infinite possibilities. So I got this request, I didn't know what to do with it, and it popped into my head, thank you, I don't know where. What if I could? Oh, I can't, but what if I could? It didn't mean I learned the song. It meant I changed it. I came up with a new way to do the lyrics or the artist or something with the person who asked for it. Whatever I did, they laughed. And I kind of liked that. And then it happened again, and they laughed again. And this new thing started to happen. And this possibility that I didn't know was there started to unfold. And the possibility was my entire life. My entire career was shaped by these requests that I hated, this problem. So we're going to do a bunch of these today to have fun with this. These are songs that you've probably heard before, but not the way I'm going to do them. And I listen to everything, so we're going to jump around. I actually got requests for the boy bands. You know, NSYNC. Or the Savage Garden, I want to stand with you on a mountain. I want to bathe with you in the sea. It's beautiful. So what if I could? Here's the cool thing. When you ask and answer the question, you're coming up with a solution that is totally yours. It is a product of your abilities and experiences. There's a huge strength behind that. There's a power behind that. I'm going to talk about it in a second. Here's how I heard that song. Oh yeah, boy bands, you have to have choreography. I was your dream, I was your wish, I was your fantasy. I was your life, I was everything you want me to be. But you were mean and you were bad and then you lied to me. You were the worst, you did it all, you even cheated on me. I wanna throw you off of a mountain. I wanna hold you under the sea. I wanna lay you to rest forever till the police come looking for me. Yeah, yeah. What if? It worked. If you enjoy that, we're going to have a blast. Check this out. I used that question to write a Christmas song for my friend Philippe upon hearing the results of his paternity test. Where's this going? Philippe's not a dad. Philippe's not a dad. What is it's a joke. But you'll sing that for 2 weeks, man. It'll just jump around. Okay, now. The greatest common denominator, the greatest challenge that absolutely every organization that I get to present for is dealing with is this. We're trying to manage change, right? There's been a few changes in healthcare lately, I think. I hear a little about them here and there. You guys are dealing with it. You're ground zero with dealing with change, right? We're trying to manage change. Peter Drucker summed up my philosophy about this better than I ever could. I just quote him. He said, managing change is not only stupid, it's dangerous. The only way to manage change is to create change, is to be the ones who step out and define the curve rather than follow it. And I would offer that when you ask the question, what if, in a positive way, what if we could do that? What would it look like? You're coming up with a solution that's yours. It is a product of your abilities and experiences or those of your team. When we then have the courage to act on the solutions we've generated, you're now doing something no one else would have done. This is a simple change, but it's huge in its implications. This is where the strength and diversity is. People say, oh, there's strength in our diversity. I'm like, okay, how? I'm a pragmatist. How? This is it. When we're willing to draw from our diverse backgrounds, our experiences, the things we dealt with, we come up with solutions no one else has come up with. We act on them, and you are so perfectly positioned to be the ones who drive change on a much larger level. Now, first time I dealt with change in a big way, I grew up playing blues and rock. I grew up in Virginia. I then moved to Nashville, Tennessee, and the requests changed. And And when people request country, it's not, could you play some country? It's country, come on, okay? And I didn't know what to do. They're packing, you gotta do it. And I thought, well, what if I could? And a wild idea hit me just to get through the night. I took the songs I do know and played them country. Well, it's a whole new genre. And the first one that came out was Tom Petty. She's a good girl, loves her mama, loves Jesus, in America too. She's a good girl, she's crazy about Elvis, loves horses, and her boyfriend too. Now I'm free falling. Yes, I'm free. What if? It works. My people. And now, the idea is to make this a habit, so you just become a possibility thinker. It's the way you come to the table. You wake up in the morning that way. And I do this, the way I practice this with songs, I can do any song country. And I'll prove it. Who let the dogs out? Who let them dogs out? That's a country song, man. Any type of music, too. They keep trying to catch me riding dirty. Trying to catch you got 12 hip-hop fans. Okay, we'll reach out, more recognizable hip-hop. It's getting hot in here, so take off all your clothes. It's getting... Anyone over 30, that was Nelly. We can do old ones. Buddy, you're a noisemaker, big boy playing in the street. Gonna be a big man someday, got mud on your face. Big disgrace, somebody better put you back into your place. We will rock you. We will rock you. We will rock you. One more, let's see, Flo Rida. Apple bottom jeans and the boots with the fur. The whole club was looking at her. She hit the floor, next thing you know, shawty got low, 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 low. It works. My people. Now, when we're talking about change, I think most of us envision something completely new that's never existed before, and sometimes that's the case. But haven't you noticed that quite often the most profound changes that we deal with, that we embrace, that are thrust upon us sometimes, are not new things, they're new combinations of old things that already existed. Somebody looked at them in a different way. Apple. Okay, the iPod changed everything, not just the personal electronics industry, but the entire entertainment industry. The way we buy and sell music was changed by the iPod, something brand new, right? Wrong. iPod is nothing more than MP3 technology, which existed for 15 years before that. It's just someone at Apple said, what if? I would argue that what if possibility is sitting right in front of you somewhere. And the way I've learned about it is playing in clubs, people would yell all these requests at the same time, had a cutoff time, had to fit them all in, and it wouldn't work. And I thought, well, what if it could? It was silly, right? A wild idea hit me. I put them together. I would do that artist singing that one's hit song, knock off 2 songs, 1 shot. I've got a time for a couple of them. You remember this song? Green Acres is a place to be. So all knows. Farm living is a life for me. Good. I just wondered. No, what if? What if? This is Bruce Springsteen sings Green Acres. And we're going to do this one right today. Sorry. Oh, Springsteen. To be farm living is a life for me. The land's spreading out so far and wide, keep that hanging me the other side. New York is right around the stem, getting so allergic, smelling hay. My people. My hope is that you will not only get this, but you'll take it back and share it with others, because you guys are the influencers. You're the ones who can make this happen elsewhere. And the best way to do that, to influence anyone, is to jump into their world. And I learned this because I have kids. And my son Zachary is 10, and my daughter Seneca is 13 going on 30. And with my son, I used to read to him, and I'd read Dr. Seuss. And he'd say, well, Daddy, what if you did Dr. Seuss in your show? I'd say, okay. It's a children's book. I mean, I know what if, but it's a children's book, and I do music. And he said, but Daddy, what if? So I thought about it. What if? It's rhyme and meter. That's music. This is Dr. Seuss as performed by Led Zeppelin. Do not like green eggs and ham. I do not like them, Sam. I am. Green eggs and ham. Green eggs and ham. Green eggs, Sam. I am. My people. Now, to jump into my daughter's world, I became a Taylor Swift fan. And so Seneca's my daughter. She and I are sitting around talking about one of Taylor's big hit songs called You Belong With Me. And if you don't know the story, in the song, Taylor's the girl next door. She's got this thing for the cool guy in high school, but he's got the snooty cheerleader girlfriend. It's a play between the two girls. So Seneca and I are talking about what if? And we got a wild idea. What if we rewrite this from the male perspective? But representing a segment of male society in high school, which I feel has been grossly underrepresented thus far in song. It's a title track to a new CD from my too. You're on the phone with your boyfriend, he's upset. He's going off about the homework he doesn't get. He'll never know mathematics like I do. I'm at the library studying for a test. He's been out hitting mailboxes with a bat. He'll never know quantum physics like I do. But he wears muscle shirts, I wear bow ties. He's good looking and I forgot to zip my fly. I'm dreaming of the day that you wake up and find that what you really want is a superior mind. If you could see that I'm the best at Nintendo home monitor, then why can't you see? You need a nerd like me. You need a nerd like me. Walking with you through the halls of the Science Museum, talking all about Pythagorean theorem, looking at my comic books, thinking to myself, I bet she likes Star Trek, and you've got a brain that would make Albert Einstein proud. You use words that your boyfriend can't pronounce. The only thing you have in common with him is that you're both way into him, 'cause he plays football, I'm in the chess club, he's team captain, and I collect rare bugs. I've only got brains, he's got the brawn, but in 10 years he'll be mowing my lawn. If you can see that I'm the best at Nintendo home monitor, then why can't you see? You need a nerd like me. If you could see that I play Dungeons and Dragons, got a scholarship to MIT, he'll get a GED. He'll get a GED. My people. Thank you. So we're asking the question, what if? And we're having fun with these requests. But of course, when I got them, they weren't funny. They scared me to death. And what we're doing today by asking the question, what if, is we're taking a huge problem and we're poking fun at it. And I invite you to do that. Most of the infinite possibilities that we're talking about exist in problems. And that's, I say to have fun with the problem. I say that because that's not what we tend to do with problems. You know what we do? We deify them. We take problems, we set them on pedestals and worship them. It drives me nuts. You know, oh, the problem. Have you heard about the problem? Oh, there's a problem. No, I've heard about the problem. Oh, the problem. Oh, there's a problem. And there's a meeting about the problem, and a memo about the problem, and then a meeting about the memo about the problem, okay? You've never experienced that, of course, okay? And I'm not diminishing the importance of solving it. To the contrary, it's impossible. It's impossible to make fun of something without standing outside of it. In fact, the very act of making a joke, what if, causes us to stand outside of it. And when we stand outside of it, we gain a new and better perspective, and I'll guarantee you a better solution every time because of that perspective, just by asking what if. The other thing that we're doing is we're taking a huge problem, and we're not looking at it as a problem, we're looking at it as an opportunity. Okay, these requests that scared me to death brought out the best in everything I do. They just didn't look that way in the beginning. So what is it that scares you? What is it that you dread or you avoid in your life, in your business, in your work, every day? What is it that you just don't like it? That's what these were for me. And we're asking the what if, and we're finding out that there's something more there. In fact, I always hear this. Speakers will say this. Problem equals opportunity, right? The little magnets on the refrigerator. There's no such thing as a problem without a gift for you, and it's solving. Which is beautiful. But I'm a pragmatist. I'm like, how? How does problem turn into opportunity? It's you, and it's me. When we're willing to ask what if, when we're willing to dig in and find what's inside us, the opportunity that's right inside us, that's where it all starts. We are the engine that makes that change. Richard Bach once wrote, here's a test to see if your purpose in life is over. If you're alive, it isn't. That means there's most definitely a profound and a divine and a wonderful reason that we're all here, literally in these seats with whatever's going on in our lives. And when we talk about motivation, he's a motivational speaker. Here, let's talk, how do we motivate ourselves? Almost always two things that work in tandem. And then you never hear about them on this stage. You want me to sum up every conference you'll ever go to for the rest of your life? I will, right now. It's ways to get you to do stuff. It's ways to get you to do stuff, okay? And we learn cool new ways, and we take notes, and we get handouts and PowerPoint, and we go home, and they go in a file or a drawer, and we go right back to doing the same two ways that were never mentioned on the stage, but I'll tell you what they are right now. Reward and punishment. That's it. Reward, you get more money. Punishment, you get fired, okay? Grades in school are reward and punishment. And they're effective to a certain degree, but as a perspective check, please keep in mind, this is the exact same way that we train mice. How does that make you feel? What sets us apart as human beings is our ability to respond to the most powerful motivational force on this planet, and it is not power, money, or fame. It's a sense of purpose. Why we do what we do means absolutely everything to us, the meaning behind it, the reason that we attach to it. You want to get more out of your lives, more out of the people you want to find the infinite possibilities. Remember, it's not just a thought. It's not just a good idea. It's purpose. And it's interesting that purpose and service almost rhyme. You'll always find your purpose in some form of service. It's the way we're wired as human beings. That is why we have to ask the question, what if? It's not an option anymore. It's mandatory. We've got to do that. We've got to be possibility thinkers. So I want you to ask the question, what if? Because there are people out there who depend on what you do. I mean, it's easy to forget that in the day-to-day and the numbers and actuarial figures and things and go, hold it. There's people who like that. I know there's words and stuff. There's people whose lives are made better, changed, sometimes saved by what you do. That sounds a little crazy, maybe. It's true. You got to draw from that. You got to realize that, you know what, there's a greater service in what you do. Now, I'm going to go ahead and do one more illustration of this because this is a big what-if question for me. It was a piece of music I thought was impossible to do on an acoustic guitar. And it was one I set as a goal in the late 1970s when I first heard it, okay? And I've studied the great composers, Bach, Beethoven, Mozart. I've got a degree in classical guitar, Spanish guitar. This is by one of the all-time great British composers, a fellow by the name of Freddie Mercury. I meant to say it that way, too. That's the group Queen. The piece is called Bohemian Rhapsody. Okay, then you know. It's got this opera of voices. It's got a full rock band. It's got a flowing piano part that goes from classical to pop, and then it's got Freddie's amazing voice on top. And the challenge was to incorporate them all in one instrument. I don't even sing it, it's just playing it. So it took a long time. I've put more than 2,000 hours into one piece of music. I've played it over 2,000 times, but only a handful on stage. So I'm sort of sharing this with you. It's on the Nerd CD. This is my guitar version of the Bohemian Rhapsody. Since it's the last thing I'm going to do, if you have any questions during the break, I'll be right out in the lobby. I would love to say hi. One of the number one questions I get has to do with the message I've shared or the CDs and things that I've got. I put them all, I made it easy, I put them all into a package. So if you wanted to show it to someone else, share the message, I've got a book called What If that shares everything that I've talked about plus a bunch more. But it's a quick read, 48 pages, big print. I have to be that way. You could tell I'm attention span. It's also got my Live at Carnegie Hall CD, which is a lot of the things you've heard today. It's got my Nerd Like Me CD that has that and this Bohemian Rhapsody. And it's got my all-instrumental CD, if you didn't like my voice. And it's also got my all-instrumental CD. Anyway, those are out there. They'd be 120 online. They're 47 out there, but I don't care. Either way, just come by and say hi. I'd love to say hi. This has been an awesome experience. Thank you so much for making me a part of this conference. You guys are the best. My people. Got it. My people.